Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Why, hello, and welcome to my Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. And we have a special guest with us. You might say a special guest host, because as you see, we've lost Mike somehow. Hopefully he comes back. But until he does, we have Eli Cook with us, who has sent us a blind sample tasting. And let's be honest, I'm sampling the Longmorn 16 he sent as well. We're starting with that one just to have a nice little talk in the hopes that Mike shows up for the show. All that responsibility after fame, it's crazy how that happens. So we want to thank everyone in the chat. I see Eli, David, Tim, Emily, John, good to see you. Oscar, good to see you. Wheels, I see you're hidden in there. I saw Ice House. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and being on time. What do you guys think of this Longmorn 16, the old version? Ben, I think you're going side by side.
Yeah.
What are you getting that's different? Because I was so very pleasantly surprised. It has had a lot of hype that I have had over years of not getting to try it. And it's really lovely. The way how it's softer, some of the nice fruit flavors and some other things going on in here. I was pleasantly surprised, and it was nowhere near as aggressive or anything as some other things could have been. Oh, and we have a late edition. Mike's back. Damn it. He was going to take your role. He was looking to take your spot.
Take it, dude.
We were just talking about the Longmorn 16, and what do you think of it? What do you think of it, Mike?
I have only had one little really tiny sip of it, and I know you guys are making me feel left out, and I should probably go ahead and pour some, and I do have an extra glass.
You should have 2 extra glasses. You need the mixing
Well, I had an
glass
extra
for the
glass
end.
because there's the mixing glass, so I'll put the Longmorn in there. So,
I need to grab one of those.
But, well, Eli, what got you interested into whiskey while we're waiting for Mike to find the bottles? What was the first something that kind of clicked for you that made you want to go high gear into learning about it and trying it?
So picked it up through work, really. I've worked at a butcher shop here in town for about 12 years now. My boss is a Crown Royal fanatic. So, I mean, I was 16 when I started working there, but drank Crown Royal for a long time and thought it was awesome. Wrong about that. As time went on, coworkers changed, stuff like that, and a guy brought in a Balvenie Caribbean cask to try. And I tried some other stuff, Jameson at bars, just the standard stuff. And I felt bad that he was bringing something nice and kind of high end to share with us, and kind of wanted to reciprocate. He was one of my employees, I just kind of wanted to join in. I really enjoyed it. So I found the Highland Park 12 Viking edition. So it's a pretty new one that tells you about how long I've been in whiskey, not a long time. Brought that in and really enjoyed it. I'd already watched YouTube channels like Binging with Babish and that kind of thing. So I started looking up reviews, things like that, through the Vault and the Tribe, sort of a standard evolution, I think, at this point.
Very true, very true. Oh, and congratulations on the promotion. So cheers, everyone. And Eli just got promoted today, so another little sippy sip, everyone. Come on. And yes, I'm trying to get us and the chat drunk so that if I make a mistake, everyone has a little bit more sympathy. Yeah. Isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous.
very pretty.
It's
That's just great in the palate.
It has this lovely honeycomb flavor to it that it's like this earthy honeycomb. and then maybe like apricot and a couple other flavors. But the honeycomb is just dominating it for me. I feel like I'm poo eating some just right out of the hive, man.
Don't be getting stuck.
Hey, he got out of that room, so he'll be fine.
He doesn't have to go through the door, right?
Yeah.
That's a Friday night thing. I hopefully I don't have to go there again. So
Hey,
remember,
your weekend, bud.
everyone, tell your friends to subscribe on YouTube so I do not have to go back to that room on Friday nights. I would appreciate it a great deal.
What's the magic number to get to?
I don't know. I think Ben hit it. Like that's months. It might be a couple months
What do we
away.
need about? Yeah, what about 560 more approximately to get there?
Yeah, that's
For safe Patrick.
Yeah.
That's like
safe.
3 weeks of growth. No big deal.
Yeah. All right.
We should jump up another 100 subs after having Eli on tonight. So
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll take it. All right. And okay. So the Longhorn, obviously something you sent because you think it's special, and I am really enjoying this. What other ones? Has there been anything since then that you've got that you felt was worth the hype when you finally got it? Because I can see buying this might be a little expensive, and then finally when you get it and it hits and you're like, hell yeah. Have you had any other wonderful hits?
So I hate to say it because it's pretty tater juice, but the first bottle I spent over $100 on was an E.H. Taylor barrel proof, and it was exactly $100. And that's sort of what got me into high-end bourbon, that kind of thing. Again, I literally saw it on a shelf, went, I've never seen that before, because Buffalo Trace and Sazerac's distribution here is atrocious. It's really bad. And I'm friends with R&DC reps through work, and it doesn't help. Like, it's terrible. Yeah, I got to try that. Really enjoyed it. That sort of got me into Bookers and those kind of things. As far as truly special, I'd say that Taylor, and I got to try a hazmat stag at Ben's house the first time we met in person, and that was truly exceptional. It drank, honestly, it wasn't as hot as the Longhorn. It was insane.
that one was scary as far as how easy that drank, and then just I rail on BTAC a lot just because of the hype and whatnot, but legitimately, that was a fantastic bourbon. I mean, it's not saying that their whiskey is bad or anything, but that George T. Stagg was phenomenal.
They make a great product. It's just the rest of it that's bullshit.
Right.
Can I cuss?
Yep, you're good.
Cool.
We're past the 5-minute mark.
Heard. Is that a
It's been 6.8 days since the last BTAC rant, so I think we're probably due.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour some Stag and sip it while we're doing that.
I'm eyeballing those Blanton bottles behind you. I'm getting triggered.
Hey, don't make me get down the cool stuff, man.
Yeah. What horses you got?
I got no freaking clue.
That's the right answer.
All right. What one should we start with here? We have 4: a green, a white, a yellow, a blue, a red. No, there's no.
There's no red.
There's no red.
No. I would start with the white, honestly.
Okay.
All right. White.
So, like I said, I just sent a variety of things that I really enjoyed, and like the Longhorn. I like sharing things that are of that quality that people don't always get an opportunity to try. I broke up the first Longhorn bottle I got and sent it all over the U.S. basically. And everybody loved it, and I think it's a great, especially for people that watched the Vault and went through that sort of learning process. It's a really cool one to get to try. Yeah,
I mean, anything that someone like Daniel, who's had 2,000 plus whiskeys, and I still come back to this one, and I love it. It's like, well, I feel like I should get on board with this.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pour some white. All right. Oh.
Let the games begin.
Yeah. Are we as a weird rule? Are we in the U.S. or are we worldly? are on this tasting? Before I really put my nose into it, I'm going to set it down. Are we all over the world, or are we more just in a regional U.S. kind of area?
All over the world.
Okay.
Like I said, I wasn't intending to end up on the show. I was just sending some cool stuff. So yeah, it's some U.S. and some Scotland.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of Irish.
Oh, do you dislike the butter notes, or is it the metallic kind of thing going on?
So I don't like the metallic and the cheaper stuff, but even like Redbreast 12, like the cash strength and that whole line, it's just a few notes. Like I can't pull a ton from them, so I've never really chased it. Green Spot's probably my favorite I've got is Green Spot. I got to try Yellow Spot at a bar one time, and it was pretty fantastic. But if I only like the fancy stuff, then I don't think that counts.
Look, I can understand that. It took me a long time to actually kind of get into Irish, and it's still, I find it 90% of the time, I'm not reaching for it.
Yeah.
There's just, I don't know. I find more interesting things in other whiskey categories. So
I'm almost to the point where Irish sometimes is almost more of an introductory whiskey for a lot of people that I know, because it's buttery and friendly, and it's not too overpowering with flavors.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I don't, even with our show, I probably only have maybe 2 bottles of Irish here, so it's not like I have a whole bunch of them anymore. But I'm thinking Scotland on this. God, this
definitely in the
I
malt
hope it's
cat.
Irish. He's just saying that just to mess with everybody.
They're all
I
Irish.
hate Irish.
Yeah, he was talking earlier about trying to prepare for the game here. So,
That's right.
what games are you playing with?
Okay.
This is pretty. This has definitely got malt character to it. So,
Yeah, but it still has some nice floral notes to it.
mm-hmm.
It's not Glenmorangie or anything, but it's
a
very friendly nose on it. I don't know here.
I'm writing down my guesses here.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to get some flavors down because it had a nice brown sugar note to it too.
Did you want to go with knowing if it's finished or not, that kind of thing?
No.
Maybe as we get into it.
Yeah.
Let's
see what we get first. Yeah. Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Oh man. The hardest thing for me with this is going to be like, I already recognize the flavor, but I have not been into Scotch and some other things remotely enough in the last year or so.
Yeah.
So this is going to take a little bit of hunting. But it has some really nice notes to it, and it's very smooth and rounded. And go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, it's creamy. It's soft on the palate. I would say this is no more than 43%, probably, maybe 40 ABV. If it's more than that, I'm going to be really surprised. But
yeah,
the nose has got some nice fruit and spice character to it. I feel like maybe there's a hint of sherry in there, but just a light hint.
We've had so many things that had like a Pinot in it that I'm mixing some light notes up with that in here, and I don't want to be.
I was trying to figure that out if I was getting some kind of
like a wine
finish
note
on it, but I'm leaning like I get a little bit of sherry. I mean, not an overpowering sherry on there, but I'm trying to figure out if I think this is a Highlands or a Speyside.
Yeah, it's kind of right on that border of.
Because there's a little bit of I hate saying fruitcake because I don't eat it, but I know what it smells like. But kind of that heavier fruitcake versus lighter and floral.
All right, here.
Does the color impact suggest finishing? Since you're thinking Scotch.
For me on this one, not horribly, no. I mean, she looks pretty standard, once used barrel. Maybe a light pink to it, but it's a nice amber mostly, at least from here.
It's kind of golden on the outside, but as it gets to the center of it, I see a little bit of I want to say almost a reddish
any peat or
tonality to it.
And it has a nice, white pepper finish. That is what's sticking around on the tongue at the end here is this nice white pepper. It's not heavy, but it's light, and it's just a little like a hue of spice. And not as much barrel. Okay, this is... Yeah.
I don't really get any kind of smoke. It's just pretty on the palate. It just a lot of honey, a little bit of floral. There's a little bit of baking spice coming in there, like some cardamom.
Could be a
touch of ginger, and you get that, like you said, that white pepper on the back coming in on the finish. A little bit of lemon.
It has a weird finish, like Macallan-y thing for me, and I don't think that's it. But
ginger's a really good pull, Ben. I've never pulled that before, but I definitely see where you're getting it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's switch to another one. We'll come back to them as we go because I feel like giving it another round will be good. Plus, that one's it's gonna bug me because I feel like I've had that before just by tasting it, and I'm not clicking on it. But it's a familiar flavor, and that's what's really bugging me.
I've got a guess.
Okay, where are we headed to next, Eli?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Yep. Oh, so that may be an interesting point. One of the three is proof down, or one of the four is proof down.
By you or by them?
By me.
Okay.
Just so it didn't spike as much.
That's interesting. Okay. I like that. Okay.
It's also in Irish. They're all James.
They're all JMO. I should have just sent you some of my granddad's moonshine.
That would have been great.
John, that is a fairly good thing. Is it a space?
This is quite a jump.
Hey, you got some of that stuff finishing in the fridge with like peppers and whatnot, don't you?
Yeah, I've got some 160 proof with whole Carolina Reapers in it.
Whoa!
You could have killed us tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like we should. I feel like I want to play that game. All right.
I'll tell you this: if you put a little bit of that into like pineapple juice, where you're getting that sweet and sour and all that balance, it's really gorgeous.
Okay.
This is like 20-year-old moonshine from way back in the day.
See, that's just exciting. I like it when it you don't feel it on the way down, but then you feel like your temperature change. And then you feel yourself warm back up.
Fights.
Hey, Mitch, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I don't think you're late. Okay. See, I don't proof-wise on yellow here. I'm only at like maybe 43, 45 on this one. I don't think this one isn't very aggressive either.
There's a mustiness to it.
I realized what I did. I was like, how are you not getting the heat? I didn't proof down what I poured for me. I was like, what are you talking about? It's a little hotter for me.
All right.
I will say I'm using my wood hat glass, and by the way,
Oh, yes.
First all Missouri bottled and bond official release party is this Saturday at Wood Hat, although you can buy it now. Single barrel bottled and bond, and it's delicious.
Okay. This one just has like
try Wood Hat.
Has like a hint of smoke.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, we can do that. That's doable. Someone might be driving past there anyways.
Uh-oh.
Somebody already has a bunch.
All right. What's that? All right.
That's okay.
This is a different. I feel like this is just a different profile altogether here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say how much you proofed it down, like percentage wise? Just like an estimate, how much?
Let's see. I've got them down here. Probably 15 proof points or so to bring it in range with the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I get a little bit of that heat, but it is like so nominal. But I can see where maybe that would be hitting on yours if you were up 15.
Yeah.
From this,
the oils are a lot more dense on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Really hits the mouth, coats. I mean, it's more chewy. It's a little bit more viscous, even if he's watered this down. And to me, I get a little bit of smoke, and I'm trying to figure out if it's more of just a barrel char thing, or if there's a hint of heat in there. But for me, the finishing on this is kind of what's a lot more forward. The other one was a little bit more malt heavy. This one is the finishing barrel is a little more prominent.
And when you were saying, let's get here. Wait a second. Like, it has peat for me, like Peat Monster has peat, like finessefully in there, almost kind of hidden. And sorry, you hear Peat Monster and you think you're gonna get your ass slapped around the room. It's just you have it, and it's this dance, and it's just completely left field from what you would expected. And I get just like,
now I want to proof this down because
it's either that or it's this really dense earthiness that has like
there's a musty earthiness to it that I get.
I think there's a mustiness.
Which is funny. There was a vibrance too. I mean, it was like it was vibrant, and then it's like, oh, okay.
There's a bit of a musty, almost grape kind of note coming on the back end, but then Patrick, what you're talking about, right on the swallow, right as it transitions starts transitioning to finish, I get a little bit of a woody peat note coming in there.
Yeah, it's almost like a light. It's a vegetally peat. It's almost like it wasn't smoked. You know, it just has this really light flavor to it. Oh, cheers, cooler running. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Okay.
Okay, this one's going to.
I got some ideas on this one.
I'm going back to it. And this one, just looking at it from here, I'm going to say, and I didn't really play with it, could be more finished. This one's definitely, let me bring this up here, darker than the other one, and it looks more of a amber brown. Like it almost looks a little pinkish hue. This one looks like it might have a little more finish on it.
Does it match that one, or is this one darker than what you're working on?
That one is darker than what I am. Hold on, let me.
Heard. So that one's still upcoming, then.
Apricot pear.
You can definitely see that. What kind of sweetness are y'all getting off of it? Fruity, confectioners? What kind of?
A little more confectionery, but I also got like a little apricot pear underneath it. And the creaminess, you could almost go as a frosting, like a buttermilk frosting.
So I'll go ahead and throw a little curveball in. As far as I know, there is no smoke involved in this.
I would believe you. Like I said, it's this dense earthiness that I can't place as right on the edge of kind of teetering into that territory.
That's why, like I said, I know I kind of gave that away, but I felt like I made the proof face the first sip I took, so I figured I'd just throw that out anyway. But yeah. I want to proof it down now. I'm curious about that note y'all are pulling.
And otherwise, if this is almost, if it were down up 10, I could see how this would almost be kind of staggy-ish, like with oomph and some other flavors. God damn it!
I can see that.
Yeah, but it has just a little bit of like a scotchy feel, but there's a lot of other flavors in there that are good. All right, very good. We'll give it another minute if Mike or Ben has anything. Otherwise, let's hop to the next one.
I'm just, as far as sweetness, to me, it's more dark fruits like dates. I feel like dates are kind of right on the money for it, and I get a little bit of chocolate off of that too. So.
Yes.
I get
I'm
that
stuck
on
between thinking it's two things, and they're two not drastically different. But when you mentioned that being proofed, it was like, okay, am I getting this proofed?
Right.
I'd be
or am I getting this one that I've had once?
I mean,
that is proofed.
When I'm getting sherry like this, and I'm getting an intensity, and you say it's proofed, my immediate thought is this is Arbelauer, a Bunich.
That's one of my
or
guesses.
in that family, you know.
Yeah.
But
that was my first guess. But my second one, which was my first guess, I've got it written down. Because I'm probably going to scratch it out. Yeah. How do you spell Jameson?
Mm-hmm. And that Mitch is right. Mitch is right with that. Proving down could have brought some of the. Oh, Jesus, I can't even say it, Mitch. I'm not even gonna try.
What?
It's been a long week.
I don't know what that is.
Glycol. I'm not even gonna do it now.
He's just making up words.
I'm making up words.
He's
just trying to sound.
Mitch is just gonna start throwing things out there. He's gonna have us going around to distilleries asking stuff, and it's not true.
What did you do to control your guaiacol?
I don't know.
I'm getting a little bit of fig and walnut on the finish here as it kind of sits on the palate.
The fig date thing, I don't get initially, but I get after you swallow. Totally switches over that way for me. Like that's when that really kind of jumps up. Yes, that's
it's almost
exactly
like a pastry where it starts off kind of powdered sugary and then switches to like the denser fruit notes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'm definitely proofing that down later. I'm curious about this now.
All right, good. We want. Oh, sure you don't want to try that right now? I mean,
I'd have to get up.
Patrick just wants to get you drunk.
I just want you to grab the bottle. I just want to see you grab the bottle on accident, so I can be like, I guess I know what that one is.
It's right here.
All right. So we got yellow, we got white.
All right, what's next?
What's the next one? Blue or green?
I'd go green next.
Green?
I'm curious about the order on these two, actually. And I was going to ask Ben, but that would have given too much away.
Oh.
That's fair.
Now, has this one been proofed?
No.
Okay.
No, the only one that's been proofed is yellow, and because it was at cast strength, where the rest are at retail normal.
The rest are unsullied.
Unsullied by South Carolina's water. I should have proved the rest.
Is it limestone driven? Are you at least getting us the good water?
Red clay driven.
That boy.
Once again, another complete departure from the.
Oh, there's not a whole lot of similarity between any of these. I'll go ahead and tell you that.
Okay, and this one.
That's cool.
A little bit more on the last one's color scheme. A nice dark.
Yep.
Kind of ambery, like legit amber color to it. Like you could get a fly from Jurassic Park stuck in here.
Yes, Mitch.
Wow.
If you're digging or planting in the yard, you do it right after it rains when it's wet. Otherwise, it's just busting concrete once it's dry.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, got to till different plant material under for about 5 years to develop topsoil at this point.
Yes, you do.
Okay, the nose on this is like almost like a light brimstone. I don't know. This is a dense, like really dense bread note.
Yeah, I get almost a little bit of a hint of a sweet feed kind of note to it. I get some funky malt going on there, and I get a little bit of a white grape.
I get that.
Almost like in a kind of the white grape's been sitting in a cocktail cup or a fruit cocktail with the juice
The
kind of thing going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's sweet, but there's peat.
I feel like I'm broken. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're broke
We've
as hell.
strayed from the Scotch for so long.
I have, and it's just
Yeah.
There's so many things that feel close to home, but I'm nowhere near it. And there's not enough huge funk on this to really send me down a different direction off of that.
Yeah, there's definitely got that peat going on in this one.
Yeah.
Soft. This
Soft,
isn't.
yes,
Yeah, this
soft.
isn't. This isn't Lafroig or Ardbeg territory or Port Charlotte or anything like that. It's a
Still
soft
sweet,
peat.
still balanced.
Yeah.
A little bit of citrus still.
Gentle.
I don't think it's Talisker either. It's got a hint of brine, but it is not that overpowering little salt that you get from that. All right, well,
I mean,
Coleman?
if you drink Scotch all the time, I mean, unless you drink the same stuff, I think it would be kind of harder to pick some of this stuff out. But because you've been in this whole other world for so long, and now you're getting into this, doing this one, I kind of feel like I'm picking up more than I would when I was drinking a lot more Scotch.
I forgot how good that is.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna-
really good.
It's really good.
I'm gonna offline and guess Killoman on this one early, and I'm probably wrong. Ooh, and when I sat that down,
Which Kilomans have you had?
the Bay and one other one, but I'm just trying to think of something else that was a little bit lighter. Yeah, the STR, something that was a little bit friendlier and not as. I mean, you could go into the Bunnahabens, but most of those have a little bit more, for me, like a flavor profile punch to them. And the peat's typically a little heavier. But
I do love Bunnahabhain.
damn it, God damn it, Eli! That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, Find Your Ams means I don't have to stick to what's from the U.S. either.
That's true. And Oscar was out there saying
Allegedly.
maybe Highland Parkish.
Famalams. That's what he said. Famalams.
And Mitch was guessing maybe a little dag. I haven't had enough of them to really say two words or not on that, so I'd be off on that one. But
This has got there's a little bit of a honeycomb to it, and I'm getting a little bit of floral note on the top end. And that peat's got a hint of like a little thread of menthol coming through it too.
Yeah. It's been, I really don't think this is it, but it's been way too long since I've had my own bottle of it. But I kept thinking, is this Bunnahabhain 12? But Bunnahabhain 12 doesn't even really have that hint of peat. If I recall, it's way more sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and it's
but
been
light.
a while since I had a Bunnahabhain too.
And I don't remember Kilhoman being as light on the peat.
Mm-mm.
I know it was usually heavier, but I mean, it was married well.
Very
From
well.
them, it flows in there very similarly. I guess now when someone mentioned Highland Park, I get that little bit of velvety feel to it, and it's not overpowering.
I don't get the heather.
Yeah,
that I
and
normally
usually
would
that's
out of
thicker.
a Highland Park. The heather and the honey that's so heavy on the top. Even when you have the sherry impact, it's usually right there.
So the Killamans I've had have all been a little more ham-fisted to me in their Scotch or in their been a long day in their like peat application than this to me. They've all seemed kind of ham-fisted.
I'm enjoying the finish on this.
Mm-hmm.
What's weird, it's almost like a root beer finish for me, like a little
I can
sarsaparilla
definitely see that.
on the finish. That it's like uniquely enjoyable like that. It's got like the hint of cream soda and a little bit of like more of the root of like root beer, not just like the sugary stuff, but like
Yeah, kind of that root earthiness kind of thing going in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see that.
Okay. Let's go. And then I'm not getting a bunch of finish off at that point. Yes, root beer. That's right.
Root beer.
Brett beer.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna end up going around the horn at some point here, anyways. So I say we go blue now.
Yep. And blue should be the darkest. That should be that beast.
Can't get the damn. Wow.
Oh, sweet Mary.
And you said American too, and I haven't had a bunch of that. So part of me was almost thinking like one of these almost like sneaking in as a Westland or something. Like I'm having this horrible fear.
Patrick's going to get it wrong, and he's going to go cry himself to sleep tonight.
I'll drink myself to sleep. Thank you very much.
Like a proper adult.
Yeah. I'll wallow to myself.
Did you give us a clue what this was? Because this doesn't seem like a Scotch to me.
This hits like Irish to me on the nose. This hits like an Irish pot still on the nose. I'm not gonna lie. Just right off the bat.
Throw out there the only Irish I have are Red Best 12 and Green Spot, and proper 12, which is definitely isn't.
Yeah, this isn't any one of those.
No.
All right.
I would guess
I'm getting bourbon
pot still, but I think it's American pot still.
Yeah.
Is this the darkest for y'all?
A little. Well, on mine, number 2 is pretty close. Or yellow.
Number two
yellow.
is yellow.
Yeah, yellow is probably the darkest for me.
Pretty close. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. It's definitely a space side.
Oh. Go. Oh, blast of malt. Fruity malt.
And a weird little, for me, like cellar influence, like a little cellar funk to it. Not like heavily funky, but like it pulled a little bit from it. And more of a mentholy mint on the finish.
Oh.
And like sugar before that happens. Wow, this is
Okay.
compared to the rest, this is one that is probably the furthest one outside the realm of compared to the rest of, in my mind. Like maybe it's because it was the last one here, but this one is outside the box for the rest of them flavor wise.
I get a hit of this thing. It's like it's rye or high rye. Is a guess on my first drink.
I can see it on the nose,
and it's only
too.
because there's just that taste that just hit. But I know I got to go back into this a couple more times
I
because
already
it
had
just
to
kind
pour
of came out
more.
of nowhere.
It's funny. My nose is telling me one thing, and my palate's telling me something else on this one.
Well, what's your nose saying? Because my nose was almost going, not really, but almost bullety with like eucalyptus, high rye, a couple other notes in there.
I'm getting like that high rye bourbon. Like I can feel like there's a little bit of corn in this, but I'm getting a lot of kind of a rye spice coming off of that. But then the palate, it's like I get what you're talking about, Mike, with the rye notes coming in, but then there's something else that's
it hits and goes away and then gets in. It gets sweet again and creamy. So it's not. That's what makes me think it's not a rye, but a high rye.
So I did admit to two of you that this was packaged late at night many months ago. I'm actually thinking that 4 may be the one that's proof down now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. It's all good.
I'm
going to tell you wouldn't be the first person to do that. I'm pretty sure I did that. So,
hey, it's been a wild freaking year, and I sent them and then went, I did not write down a key. And then,
hey, look, that's okay. I was on with Whiskey Crusaders last week, and they were reviewing in a blind some samples that I'd sent them, and it'd been pretty much about a year ago that I sent those out, and and so then Patrick lets me know, hey, we're going on the show with Whiskey Crusaders. They're doing some samples. What did you send them? I have no idea. That's been like a year ago.
Yeah, like I was, for real, I was like, all right, cool. I can tell y'all what 4 bottles they are.
Yeah.
That's
kind of what I had them go through and taste it. And they had a key because I'd written them a letter letting them know what they were. But as they started telling, I was like, okay, is this more peat or less peat? Is this? Okay, now I know what you got. Okay.
I've been playing that game. The problem of me tinkering with one and then leaving it proof for me made it more difficult, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, just weird thought on this one, and I know it's not accurate, but this almost smells like apple brandy finish.
I can see where you're going with that.
Like a Calvados kind of thing?
Kind of a bit. Like but on the finish though. Like it's the apple.
What the hell is this?
And like a little bit more fermented apple in it as well too. There's like a couple different apple flavors in here.
Apple with some cardamom and clove kind of thing going on.
And not heavy cinnamon on the nose though.
Do you really think this one's proof down?
That's a good question. Does it seem...
For me, this one probably hits like the highest proof out of all of these so far.
When you mention that, it seems like there's something that's stopping it from progressing, because it changes with that rye hits, and then it just kind of mellows out, and that's what that's when you said that, I thought, well, okay, I wonder if this one is it, and that's what's knocking it back, or maybe you're just saying all the stuff just to throw us off.
And it gets a little bit.
There's rye in here. The finish.
Does one of these taste like it's finished in milk?
Yeah. Can I throw a really big wrench into this?
Yeah.
Please.
They're all single malts.
Fuck.
Okay.
Until we go to reveal the answers.
Right. This one's got a lot of, for me, coming onto the finish, a lot of chalk and minerality coming in there.
Shit.
What kind of sweetness, if any?
God, there's something familiar about this too. There's something familiar on this nose, and I cannot put my finger on it.
Distilled water.
Carolina red clay water.
It's yeast.
Yep.
Oh man.
What the hell is that?
Hold on, I need a drink of water here. This one's is but I think finish-wise has a very exciting finish compared to the rest. Not that the other ones don't, but this one's active, if that makes sense. Like there's heat, there's some spice, there's stuff going on, and it's not going away. The other ones went a little more quiet into the night and faded away with some flavor, where this is this is still slapping my tongue around at the end here with a little bit of barrel note. So
this to me is like apple butter with a shit ton of spice and a little bit of honey and a little bit of pastry going on in there, and then you get this hit of like fruit jam. And that's what kind of makes me, I think that's what pulls me in the rye direction, is that fruity jam note that I'm getting. But, there are some rye barrel finished scotches out there. Glenmorangie had that, was it Spios? Mm-hmm. That was a rye barrel finish. I've yet to get to try that one, but.
You said these were all single malt, but you didn't say whether they were all single malt scotch or just single malt.
That's true.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident in what two of them are based on y'all's notes, but I think yellow and blue might have switched.
God, that isn't. I'm intrigued.
What the hell is that?
Whatever blue is, I'm intrigued as to what barrel is used. Even just normally, I almost feel like if there's an American one, I feel like that's the American one, and I feel like it might be Minnesota oak. And I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm fucking wrong, but that's where I'm going.
I wouldn't know on that one.
It gives a little bit spicier finish rather than a sugary finish to it because it has tighter compact ranks, which I did learn from Mr. Mitch Weddle.
Yeah, this to me, I'll just be straight. This hits to me like it's got a strong bourbon barrel finish, like it's a fresh dump, first refill bourbon barrel, because some of the notes I'm pulling off of there, and it could be a high rye bourbon, but that's what I'm tasting, or that's what it's coming across to me. The green feels
just
like
the black pepper note in that too. It's so distinctive. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. No.
All right, yellow is sherry. The green one feels like if it has a finish, it could be like a white wine finish to it. White is just pure malt.
So I will say the green. That's too heavy of a hint for Ben. I can't throw that out.
Okay.
No.
But yeah, I do think I probably got.
White. Sorry, go ahead, Eli. I didn't mean to talk. Go ahead.
If you're solid on blue or on yellow being sherried, I think I did flip flop those.
Okay.
So the blue one is what was proof down.
Maybe.
If that one's a malt, then hold on here.
I'm willing to go ahead and give guesses
and
see how close I am.
All right. The zebra, the fruit stripe gum. Like you open up the pack and you smell all those fruit flavors coming off. That's what I got off the blue just now.
I know we've had that. I can't remember where that was, but I know we had that once before.
Yeah, it hadn't been that long ago either.
It was with Kevin on something. Can't remember what it was, but it was. It's probably It was the light whiskey.
Was it the light whiskey?
It was the light whiskey. Okay, I'm going back and forth. Blue, I have a call on, but I'm sure I'm wrong. But I'm okay with judging that if it was proof down. I feel like if it had more hit on that, I think I would be right. So, white.
I haven't seen y'all review any of these.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or not. I wanted to be like, I tend to agree with you. Okay. And at this point, white feels so clean. and sugary, and not ooh.
Yeah,
Holy
it got
cow.
substantially sweeter as we go.
Mhm.
Wow.
Coming back to it through that lineup.
Yeah. Wow. That one
Yeah.
just
A lot of vanilla.
good
to
for
it.
you. Good for you starting on that, because a lot of that kind of got washed out by some of the other ones.
Shit. All right.
All right. All right. Let's do the white one.
So we can
Let's
go
come
down
back
line.
around. Let's come back around the white, and let's see
All
what
right.
we think about it. Just because we're getting there, and let's start honing in on some of this stuff.
Boy, that has got honey sweet.
It's almost too sweet now.
Yeah.
Like after this thing, man, it is almost
Yeah.
too sweet.
Very vanilla too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on all four. But on the white,
Do I get to wager the same way on that? I'm betting against myself.
Hey, there's no winners. As long as y'all enjoyed it, that's all that matters.
I
They're all
enjoy these
great.
all a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell they are, especially
And
after
there's-
not having scotch for a long time. But I'm going to go ahead and guess. I'm just going to throw out. I'm going to guess Glengoyne.
The 12? Because if I was going
It's
12,
been
I
a
would
really long time since I've had it, but there's a memory, and that's why I'm throwing that out there.
I get.
Should I reply or let y'all all guess?
Yeah, let us all
go for a second, because I was going to say I've only had the 21
I'm going to say that's
recently.
a no then. If you're willing to reply.
Mike
I've
is
never had
wrong.
Glengoyne
Guess again. Wow. And it's something we haven't had. And a light malt that we haven't had. That's really. I don't know. I want to say like Hudson Bay malt or something. I haven't had it, but something that I can't. I don't know. I don't know on one. I'm fucking lost on this thing.
I almost want to lean towards like a Deanston, but it doesn't quite have that kind of
Yeah.
It doesn't quite have the funk in the malt that a Deanston gives off. But it's pretty. It puts me more in mind. I almost lean slightly more Highland than I do Speyside with this, but it doesn't have the saltiness or the brine like an Old Pulteney. It doesn't have the waxiness and the nuttiness and the notes you get, and a little bit of peat you get off a Kleinleash. Oban is much more apple and honey, and you get this nice underlayer of woody peat that is very lightly peated in Oban. God, this is.
I like your Deanston thing, but Deanston's richer.
Yeah,
In my mind,
That's
I see where you're going, but it's just
fair.
richer.
Deanston's a pretty fair comparison.
I've already conceded on this one because I don't know on this one. It's.
I mean, Deanston would be about the closest thing I could guess to it that I've had or experienced. That. Is there anything else that I can think of?
All right, I'll throw another one out there. I
Yeah.
said the distillery at the beginning.
Do you think we have a memory on this show? We're all like over 40.
Man,
Um,
I'm 29 graying. And
is
put
it
in a
really?
12-hour
It
day.
can't be. It cannot be a Highland Park. There's no way I can see that going down that right. I'm just thinking the stuff you named.
Yep.
I
Bless
mean,
No, I don't. Let's. I'm
Go ahead and go for it.
conceding this one altogether because this one I
Yeah.
don't know. It's so light. I mean, it almost drinks light and friendly like a Glenmorangie, but it's sweeter. Oh,
Balvenie.
son of a!
Balvenie.
Toast of American Oak.
Toasted American Oak. Okay.
I really enjoyed
That
this
was-
one when I cracked it.
Okay.
And this is
Nice.
No, is that just the straight Balvenie?
no, it's one of their like story series, I think they call it. It's story 1. So they did a series of like finished things.
And what is that one finished to?
Toast of American Oak, so it's all bourbon.
Really?
So yeah,
Okay, I'm guessing that's like a 4, like a higher toast level, because it's a lot of almost creamier notes and like sugary notes in it.
Damn.
Yeah, that vanilla should have been a big.
Twice toasted virgin American oak barrels.
Well,
John
That's
says
where
he
that heavy
had that
malt
at.
character comes from.
John said he had that at the $7,000. It is quite tasty, and
I
it's
really
one of
like
those
that.
ones that I think you picked the right place in the lineup. Number one, there's a few things we've had on the show is like, well, this should always be number one because you're gonna miss it.
And Ben called 43% at the beginning. It's dead on 43%.
Yeah, and Mitch was saying he was saying that it's one of his least favorite distilleries, and I agreed with that until I had the Peat Week and one other one, and then it is the kind of like when I started Highland Park, and they just weren't ones that jumped out at me. It's not like I thought they were bad when I had them.
Yeah,
it's just the flavor profile didn't be like get me like fucking all wound up. So
I really like the Caribbean cask. After it's been open for about a month, it seems to settle down a little.
right.
And this American oak toasted was really nice right off the bat. I really enjoyed it. But I've had some others that, like Mitch said, weren't really up my alley.
Right. I'm in the same category. I have the Caribbean cask. It's nice. This one I have not had before, but I've had a few friends who really liked it. Probably the most impressed I've been with the Balvenie was a 17-year double wood. And that one I thought was really, really exceptional, but you're starting to get into a price range where it's like, okay, but there's other stuff that's as good or better, in my opinion, for less money. When I first got into Scotch, or first got into whiskey, period, the Balvenie, the standard 12-year double wood, was maybe about the third or fourth bottle that I bought, and I was not impressed with it at all then. And in going back to it, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice, but there's just, to me, there's other things on the market that I would rather explore, and that's where I am with Balvenie. But yeah, this was pretty. This was, I mean, the vanilla,
Very
as you
nice.
hit on, the vanilla notes should have been a big
Yeah,
clue
almost
as to the toasted oak coming through on
finish it, not just
not quite marshmallow, but in there.
that.
Yeah, and it didn't quite cross that edge too, which is usually what you see. That's why I almost feel like maybe it was a 2. There's some interesting work. I want to know what happened to that. Just because of the way the flavor came out, like you said, marshmallow usually starts to come through once you get to a little bit higher level toasting.
Yeah.
And Mark is
Maybe
right.
something with their.
The Highland Park 25 is to be worshipped. I'll give you that.
You'd have to send me some to let me know. I'd have to confirm on my
He's
own.
in Canada. That
can't.
daring son of a bitch probably will not do that. But he's a crazy man. That Mark. You never know.
He might send you he might send a Dalek to deliver it for you.
Hey,
So let's move on to what yellow is here. I'm going to come back around to this.
Yeah.
yeah. Give me your notes on that. That should be pretty easy to. Now that I think I know what it is again.
This for me. This is heavy sherry. This is a heavy sherry impact on this. And all the notes that go right along with a classic heavy sherry malt. So,
Yeah, there's like a chocolate note to it. There's I don't want to. It's like a red berry note to it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm huffing too much here. I need to slow down.
yeah, chocolate, dates, figs, maybe a hint of walnut. There's a little bit of spice, almost like an orange, mulled orange spice kind of thing going on. Not quite gingerbread, but maybe like a molasses or a brown bread kind of note to it.
I can see that.
So yeah, all the things that just scream heavy sherry finish. So I'm kicking in the Aberlour territory on this one. Would be my first guess.
I get with the
I might
density
could
of
go.
it.
I
And
might could
stuff
go
too.
Macallan on this, but I'm more of Aberlour.
Mike?
Abelard Abuna was one of the guests that I wrote down. The other thing that I thought of, because I've had it once, or I've had a variation of it once, but one of the state release cast strength Highland Parks. But I keep going back to Abelard Abuna.
Is
Yeah.
it speedy enough for a
Hold
Highland
on.
Park cast strength?
No,
Not the ones
but
I've had. I've had 2 of them, and yeah, there's some notes in there that would kind of give that away to me. I don't get that in this at all.
I get
but
way more of the fruit sherry heavy influence.
And I'm going to lean a different way because I like the Macallan, but I'm going to go a Glendronach.
that could be, yeah.
But
I
it's
see
not,
that too.
but not the straight 12 because I feel like that's almost it's heavier in the flavors of the sherry. So I don't know what finishes there are to it, but I'm leaning more towards a Glendronach as my guess on this one.
We all good there?
I think we're good.
Okay.
We can all be wrong again. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ha!
Glendronach.
Oh, you
Glendronach
bastard.
Parliament.
And the 21.
Damn.
Mhm.
P-Funk. I can't believe I didn't pick up on the P-Funk. Part of me is upset. The P-Funk All-Stars should always just be dancing on your mouth. That's damn good.
Yeah. I love Glendronach products for sherry. I
Yeah.
think they age for age with Macallan. I think Glendronach does a cleaner job with it, at least for me.
Yes.
Well, and price point. I don't know. I
True.
feel it's like a titch richer than Macallan. Macallan has like this little bit cleaner taste where
Mhm.
I feel like Dronach's got a little bit richer kind of punch to it when you're having it.
Macallan
I
and
grew up
Sherry
with,
was in their heyday 10, 15 years ago,
Mhm.
in my opinion. And
Yeah.
the current
Better
the
whiskey,
current
worse
bottlings of
smoking.
Macallan
Yeah.
just don't cut it. And especially compared to like what Glendronach or even Aberlour is coming out with. It's
You thinking it was Abelor makes me think I need to try more Abelor than that Kaz Ganam or whatever it is, the rare cast
Yeah.
that I have.
yeah.
Get
That
the
one's
Abunam.
and that one's really
That's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, but
Abunic is fantastic, and even their 18-year,
Yeah.
which for an 18-year-old, the price is pretty nice on that, and it's
Yeah.
a really nice.
All the Aberlours I think are very well priced. I mean,
Yeah.
even with tariffs and whatnot, but yeah, I got the Abuna Alba and the Abuna, and I want to say I got them both for. Well, I got one for like under 60, and the other one for like $75.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah. This is the only one I have. It's the Kaz Ganam, which is like rare cast or something like that. It's batch
Mhm.
1. And it's got some interesting herbal notes to it that
Yeah.
But,
Kinda-
but yeah,
You and I had tried that one together, I think, back when you first got it, and I felt like they used some older, much older scotches in the blending on that one because there's some
definitely it's got some
notes in
dense
there that-
color.
yeah.
well, and the Abuna I think you like because that was one when you said you proofed it down. That's where I
Right.
kind of caught up because that's one of the ones that when I first started trying stuff, that was the one I found where you could proof it down.
Yeah.
And you didn't lose flavor when you kept going down. Like it changed, but you still had some unique punch going to it
Yeah.
for quite a while. Like you could go from, I think it was 65-ish. You can go down to 50 or 47 and you were still getting some neat stuff to it. Oh, yeah.
That's where y'all's notes kind of threw me, where I was like, yeah, I
Okay.
think I need to proof this down. Like that's some funky stuff.
Oh, and yeah, Mitch is right on that one. Some of the Glendronach cast strength is scary good. I've only had a sip of that, and it is, yeah, that's
Definitely gonna find one of those.
That's
Yeah.
legit. All right, so now let's move on to the green one.
Mhm.
And I didn't really write too many notes on that one.
You all agreed on peated for this one.
Yes,
I'll throw that
but
back
there's a
out.
lot of fruit coming off the nose right now,
Yeah.
but the peat is there.
I'm stuck between two choices of what I think it is.
Well, you get all the normal notes. There's this like notes, but then there's this like really like a lemon citrusy, but like the rind note that is at the top end of this. Whew,
Yeah,
she's sharp.
just the zest though. No like pithy bitterness or anything. Just the oils.
Yeah, just like the nice a punch pack of it, man, and especially at the top of the glass.
This one opens up really well too. Like I feel like this one sort of evolves as you sit with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This one has nice earthiness, like an herbalness, and then some honey and a little bit of menthol on the last end of the nose here. At least for me, I know what I'm saying could be completely batshit different than everyone else. So,
well, Ben said the same thing earlier.
Oh,
something in the like minty range.
A little bit of a menthol thread coming through that peat.
It's not that.
So, I'm gonna throw out a guess here. Is this the Glenlivet Nadura peated? Nope. Okay. Well,
I want to try that one day, but that is not one that
the only thing is that one's a little bit of a higher proof, I think, and this one doesn't have the proof on that, but just the flavors put me in mind of that kind of.
I get you. There's the earthiness in here is very similar. All right, here, hold on, get another picture here.
All this has done for me is make me think I need to drink more single malts.
They're very single malts are so good.
It's kind of done that for me because diving into craft for the last year, I've kind of neglected my Scotch collection and drinking a lot of malt. But when you have moments like this, you're like, okay, man, I need to crack that cabinet open more often.
Mm-hmm.
Any other guesses?
All right. I can't decide between. I can't decide, so I'll say where I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on either the Lagavulin, but not the 16,
the 9,
and the Lafroy Carchus.
I don't see the Carchus.
So
the only reason is because there's something I can't put my finger on, and I know every Carchus is different.
Okay.
I've only been lucky to have 2 of them.
Yeah. The only other option I would go with is it has me wondering if this is like a Talisker, but a special finish Talisker. Like
the
I haven't tried the Port Rui.
Yeah,
which is a port finish, but I don't get the notes of what I would expect port to add to this. So
it seems so much more subtle than Talisker.
So the problem, and why I didn't mean to put these in this order, is that this one is sherried. I will throw that out there because I think the Glendronach nukes some of that, which makes this interesting in a very different way.
Mm-hmm.
It brings out some of those other notes, but I will throw out that it is sherried.
I'm going to stick with Mike Hellowman. I know I'm wrong, but that's where I went right away, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to narrow it down to being accurate right now.
Yeah,
so,
it's not.
Port.
Still thinking, Ben?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Cool.
I don't think I'll do it.
So it's definitely not the Saneg, the sherry Killoman.
Yeah,
we have talked about it tonight.
The 15. Okay.
Yep, it's all profile. We always talked about it being kind of a tweener between the 12 and the 18. That's why I didn't want to throw that hint out there.
And,
but that is
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick
really good.
Patrick hit about that herbal note and that menthol note, and that's what when I've had it with you before. That's what I talk. It has there's a herbal quality to it that I don't get out of normal Highland Park.
It's not in the 12, and it goes floral in the 18.
I should have had that, and it was friendly enough to be Highland Park. In my mind, I find Highland Park to be very friendly, even with its peat and everything. Man,
You danced all around that one
Damn.
because you'd even said like.
I'm far enough in the show. Fuck.
Start throwing shit at the camera.
I should have had that one. I don't know. I should have had that because, like I said, I haven't had a lot of Highland Park. Because when I first had it, I wasn't as big a fan. But I like I said, I like the special offerings they have much more. And this tastes a hell of a lot more like a special offering than. Is it an old 15?
It is. There's no modern 15. So
They discontinued the 15.
discontinued.
So
well, they're jackasses. The last thing they needed was to steal a bear or a dolphin or some other thing. You should have just kept that and fucking made money.
I'm gonna be honest. Out of the lineup of these four, as pretty as the Glendronach 21 is with that sherry, my favorite has been the Highland Park 15.
I feel like the sherry muting some of those notes in the 15. The 15's got other layers that stand out really well once you get past them.
Yeah, but you're
I'm
right.
kind of happy with that order.
Oh, son of a bitch. I just shattered the top of this. I guess I'm going to have to drink whatever blue is.
Oh, no.
Your own strength.
All right.
No.
You just blew yourself.
Wrong room. That's Friday.
That's Man, you're just excited to get your own room. I see how this is. If you gotta ask,
I'm sipping on the blend of all four. So
if you gotta ask, I can't afford it.
All
right.
right.
Wait. We didn't do blue yet. Fucking wait. We gotta do blue, then we can have the mix.
I
right?
bet the blend is nice.
I bet it is. I'm gonna go proof down, random guess, Balcones single malt, and proof down version of it, and I'll let them guess their own. See, now I can pour my own dump glass. Ben, Mike, what are you thinking blue is?
It's had me in that Balcones. It came across my mind on that.
Just because it was proof down, though, right?
Right, exactly.
I didn't get any of the. Yeah, I didn't get any of the Balcones feel from it.
It wasn't super funk, but I thought maybe that's what got washed out. Like, I got some, but it wasn't, like, overbearing like it normally would be a bit.
So you guys are definitely on the right track. It is.
But there's
the
a funky
American
wood
single
note in there, too.
Out of the lineup.
There's that one note that comes through that hits like a rye root beer
On the nose or the palate?
on the palate.
On the nose, though, I'm getting and that's what it puts me towards Balcones, because I almost feel like I get a little bit of this funky Texas wood kind of going. But
Mike pays himself $20.
Hey, you don't know me. I'll do a lot of things to myself for $20.
Mike's 100. He doesn't do anything for less than that, even to himself.
I'm easy to myself, but I am not cheap, madam.
Hey, man, know your worth.
All right, but I'll give you another second with this one because I moved on to the blend, and the blend smells pretty damn nice.
I'll go ahead and get him on that too.
The single malt for me, there's something about it that screams northern United States.
Are you Westlanding?
Westland is the name, but I actually did write down Westland on my piece of paper. Got it on there over here.
No one
somewhere.
can read that. He's here. Wait, I got it too.
Damn it.
here, it's on my
believe him.
paper. Can you read that? I wrote it down.
There we go. Just fresh written.
But there's something about it that almost is like.
Ooh.
There's something about that reminded me of there's a flavor I got off of J. Henry.
Okay.
But I'll stick with Westland.
But is it like a Gariana finish? Westland, perhaps?
I've never had it, so I wouldn't.
I wish I'd tried that. I'm not even gonna play. I wish I'd shared that, Ben. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I would have heard about it.
That stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Those trees you can never find. They're worthless.
Yeah.
The fact that y'all are throwing Westland and Balcones at this, kind of, I would find as a compliment, knowing what y'all like. It is another bigger. I don't even know if they count as craft. I would count them as craft.
Okay.
I'm already out, so I'm not guessing anymore.
I'm prepared to be humbled.
So obviously, it sounds like Westland and Balcones are not in the mix here. So,
it's not Cole Keegan because I would have got that smoke. God, if I didn't, it is. It is John. I can go home. I will cry myself to sleep tonight with my bottle of Cole Keegan right by my side.
The spirit of Colin is going to appear over you and beat you over the head while you sleep.
Wearing his New Year's diaper and top.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he has a good time. That's all I got to say.
Hey, I can't wait to get out there.
New Year's diaper.
All right. All right. My hands are up. I guess my side. What is it? What is this guy?
Oscar called it.
Oscar nailed it.
Yep, Mike, you were getting there. Oscar called it.
I haven't had enough
cast strength. Yeah, I've not had a cast strength, so
I have not either.
It's really good because it's sub 60 around here, Ben. It is really nice for a cast strength single malt.
For sub 60, that's impressive. Like
it
that's
was
a really nice
this
price.
Where around here? Because I haven't seen a cast strength around here yet.
Check out Wine Express on in Five Forks.
That's right. Go here.
I think Total had it. No, don't go. If you're going to Wine Express for anything other than random stuff like this, don't do it. Their Eagle Rare's like $70.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
Nice guy, man. They try to kill people on anything that's got a nice name.
Nice job, Oscar, with that one because you hit that one dead on, and right as you said it, I was like, I started going through. I'm like, I've only had two, and one was the Diamond Peak, and I was not a fan of that one.
Me neither.
So that's cool. That's just there's a Colorado trip coming up this year, next year. That's going to be insane. That we'll let people know when we go do it because there'll be 3-4 distilleries that will be worth definitely hitting up.
Speaking of Colorado, that 3-chamber rye wasn't that supposed to hit around in March sometime?
We are getting end of March into April.
Yeah, because they're dealing with some, I believe it was labeling issues or some regulations of some sort. They will let us know, and we will let everyone else know when that happens. Because Todd said, since I accidentally ran over and gave Sean some of my sample because it was so good that he would send me some more to review. After the show, I was like, "Oh, are you up, Sean?" It's 11:45 at night. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm coming over." So drive over there and pour him out rest of the sample. I didn't think about reviewing it, and I was all amped up. I was like, "You gotta taste this." And he was like, "Holy shit!" And then like I wrote Todd the next day. I was like, if we're gonna do a review, I was a big jackass and drank all of it last night on accident. That's my fault. I'm like, Mike and Ben can do the review, but just give us the heads up when it shows up. So we'll let everyone else know about that because that was exceptionally good, and you're drinking history.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that, as far as I'm considered. It's awesome.
And you got an absolute craftsman of a distiller and a brewmaster in Todd, so it's going to be fantastic. So I threw the Longmorn. So I've got a.
Oh, you threw the Longmorn in here.
I got a 6 blend going on in here.
6 blend.
You've got the Longmorn in there.
4. How did you get to 6?
6.
Well, because I have
both
Longmorns. I have both
Longhorns. You have both
Longhorns.
Longhorns.
Oh, you bastard!
Because I have the newer one on here as well.
Fine.
And Mitch is asking, how about a Kentucky trip? A decent basement bar with no cover.
I think there's going to be a couple of Kentucky trips.
Yeah, well, I know it's interesting. There might be something coming up in a little bit of time frame. There's some works on a Kentucky trip coming up here.
Any info on a Whiskey Den barrel pick from anywhere yet? You guys would blow that away.
We don't want to talk about that. There was supposed to be one.
There could still be one. There's the thing is,
well,
is
but there was the one. There was the one that was like, oh. I mean, there's other opportunities, and especially once that border opens up to Canada. But
Buffalo
there
Trace
was this one magical one. Yeah. We're just going to go in there and taste everything and say, overpriced, tastes like shit.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
How much do you charge for this when you get done? $74.99? No. How do you people get away with this 17-year-old whiskey that's been in here?
Amaranth.
Your prices border on assault.
Gore slightly ajar was my favorite April Fool's joke this year.
All right.
Okay. All right. I like the blend. It's a little too sugary for me.
It did get sweet as all get out, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Like the first half of it the middle is pretty sugary, and I'm a little iffy on that. The yellow, green, and blue were exciting. I think yellow and I think I liked green better. I think I found blue very interesting.
Yeah. Blue was deeply interesting. Green was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The Glendronach is fantastic. Honestly, they all were really good. So
Excellent
I'd be happy to have a glass of any of those anytime.
And I like the blend. That blend's nice.
Yeah.
The blend was nice. It pulled the pepper from all of them too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did, and I like that.
The blend for me is going diabetes level on the sweetness.
It's sweet.
Sure.
Yeah, it's sweet, but then it's like pepper.
You're diabetes.
Rest in peace.
With your
Hopefully you can make it there. Hold on here. I got to get Oscar's thing off. Sometimes there's too much.
The reason I thought I had the color scheme right is they're kind of color coded because I'm OCD like that. So I'm kind of annoyed that I screwed up the listing after all that. Green was the Highland Park, yellow was the Stranahan's. I thought. I don't know how I'd jack that up, but
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. So I went for the ones that were too middle groundy, like the Highland Park and both sherry finished.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed. I was actually pretty impressed by the Highland Park, but I mean, I love a little P-Funk. I'm more upset that I did not pick that one out. Usually, I got the right place. I just didn't get the right one, and I usually nail that one because I really that's a bottle I can destroy with friends or by myself. Is there some you want to share with people? There's some that it's like I'm okay if I just drink this one all by myself.
I really think, and I might do this more often, chasing Highland Parks and peated stuff right after like a heavy sherry, kind of muting that a little bit. See, it really brought out some stuff I've never pulled out of that 15 before, even if it was accidentally. Oh no! Hang on.
Sorry. Comments.
Yeah, I can't
Comments.
comments.
The toe taker.
That would be great if we did get a really sweet one. Oh shit!
From the Koval rye.
Oh, that one was, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like drinking candy syrup. It was it was good, but boy, that was one of those ones where it was like you could also drizzle it over a dessert, and it would be like that accent sugary flavor to it.
And so, I know we're stepping on their toes again. But Whiskey Crusaders, they had mentioned, because they had picked up this pick, a Balcones single malt pick. Balcones single malt, single barrel pick that was French oak finished, called Maltzilla. And last week when Ben was on there, like, hey, let us know if you guys want to get one. So I did. And so I poured it in honor of that. I'm just, you might ask them if you jump over there after this and ask and see if they're still offering to get some, or to make things happen, I should say, because
you're saying it's worth making things happen.
Look how dark that sumbitch is.
Whoa.
Hold it. Get it closer. Get it closer.
I'll get closer, but
juice.
I'll even do this.
You're
I'll
gonna-
put my light behind it.
Jeez. That's
Are you
ridiculous.
sure there's a wood? Is that like a wood plank, like Oak and Eden in there? What the fuck is?
Yeah,
No,
there's just a stick
it's,
in there.
It's like
No.
it's just like tobacco spit.
No, it's
Yeah.
a Balcones that was French oak barrel, distilled April 4th, 2017, bottled August 24th of 20.
Wow.
So, yeah, called Maltzilla, Fury of the
Is it-
French oak.
Is it cast?
Single cask, yeah.
Nice. John
Or
saying
single
is-
barrel, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
65.2%.
John says he has a buddy with a pistol nicknamed the Texas Toe Popper for almost the real reasons.
Got to be careful holstering those things sometimes, you know.
Barney Fife that shit.
Trigger control. It's important.
There you go.
Or for people old enough, Swifty Morgan. If they can name what movie that's from.
Not a clue.
Yeah, you got me there.
Good old James Garner movies. They had support your local gunfighter and support your local sheriff. This is support your local gunfighter.
There you go. Movies I have not watched in a long
Is
time.
that a
but I'm into.
statement or an ad?
Both.
Both. James Garner was the shit. I'm sorry, but
Look, man.
and Suzanne Plachette.
I grew up a huge fan of Rockford Files as a kid.
Oh,
That was a great show.
oh my god. Nobody could execute the J turn like Jim Rockford.
No.
The J turn.
I have
Yeah,
no
when
idea
you hit the
what's going
car,
on.
the car's in
Good. We're
reverse.
on the same page.
The car's in reverse, and you hit the brake, and you spin around and do a 180. But it forms a
I got
J
you
turn.
now.
I know
got
what a
you.
J turn is. I have no idea what you're referencing.
Oh, Rockford
Man,
Files is
come on,
it's fantastic to
Rockford
look up.
Files, James Garner.
Yeah.
Wait a second. The Alliance bottle, is that number 1 or number 2, Eli?
Number 1, I believe.
Ooh. It's always good to have those.
Which one is that?
Love it. Balcones.
Oh,
The
okay.
first Balcones Alliance. 120 proof. I love Balcones. It is actually blocking, but I've got a pile of it over here.
Hey, and they're starting to get everywhere so that people can get a hand on them. Even my local grocery store had about 6 bottles of their stuff, so it's worth going to look at and hunt out. Let's
There's
see.
some great mules out there too.
Yeah.
All right. We've been on about an hour and a half and eating up some of your time and having a few sips here. But we should probably start letting people go because some of us have to work tomorrow. Some of us don't, but it's all good. Some of us have a new computer system they have to learn. And that could just be frustrating for everybody.
Technically, I'm nowhere till next month, so
You're on hiatus?
yeah, I'm now a store opener or whatever. So my job is to open the store that isn't built yet. So I'm gonna go into my old store and fart around all day because got nothing better to do.
I like it. All right. So next Monday, we will be having Matt Bay from Old Bay Signs on. We're going to talk about his story and how he got to where he is today and all the different signs and kind of unique things that he's doing that you can get from him because, hell, we all want that extra kind of little cool thing for your bar or for your house or your whiskey den, something that adds a little bit more appeal to it, but can be personalized to what you want it to say or to give you kind of the feel. So we really dig that. And the quality of his science is really sharp now. I was going to say, like, he started out and they
great
were
story.
Yeah.
He's not using CNCs. He's doing it by hand. And he's got a great story.
And he's going to be going out to some different festivals and he'll be selling some stuff there. And I know, like, I think he was going to be going to Midwest Distilling Fest and a couple other ones, and actually doing like a little bit of showing you how he does it when he's there. So like a little bit of demonstration into what's going on, and then you can kind of see some finished product. So it's damn tempting for all of us that have that little extra niche to kind of put that piece that kind of finalizes an area or kind of picks up the space or makes it feel like home. So definitely stop in next Monday for that. That's going to be exciting. Eli, thank you so much for the samples.
Absolutely.
They were tremendous. It was fun. For me, it was difficult, but I thought it was really fun just because it was jumping back into profiles I hadn't had, but were still familiar to me. You know, that was almost part of the problem. Like I had the first one, I was like, oh Christ, if I don't get this one right, it's going to be like, I know I've had this before. And so, yeah, it was really fun to have you on and do something like this. And we look forward to doing something like this again in the future. Maybe when you have to taste some of the stuff we're having. And we are planning some trips out to other parts of the country later this year. So there's one or two that might be popping up, but we'd be able to do something around it. It is close to your neck of the woods. So we'll keep everyone up to date on that. Awesome. So remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.